study, where we live. So celebrating the culture, respect, and diversity of our community is very crucial in every time. We came to this country, as Tuj said, in 1950. They were the first South Sudanese who came here a long time ago. And the connection with the South Sudanese and Australian also, thank you Tuj for acknowledging that. We have a great connection. As a human family, we live in this earth. We're all born of different moments, but we are all offspring of God. We are God's children. Doesn't matter whatever you call, what name you call God, you still we have one God. And we are all offspring of the God. So as we live in this earth, we should live with respect, with love, and we should support one another. Living in gratitude is not that bad. And I always tell young people that, you live because the other person lives. For instance, the issue of financial assistance that are given to the families here. If you are a student, you get money from somebody who's actually working to support the system, to support you. But without that person working, then you will not be able to complete your school. You will not be able to actually find work. We live because one another, everyone is there. And that is the connection. That is the great connection we have. So as people in Pakenham, let's say in Cardinia Shire, we should start working together. We should start working together instead of just pinching one another. That doesn't give us a good way of moving forward to support one another. I think living in this country, it's beautiful. And I know the young people that are out there, always that are we the community leaders, and also the families, when you see them, they look blacks, they look South Sudanese, but inside them, they are not South Sudanese. They are Australian. That's what we don't know. They are Australian, because most of them are born here. Even those values they have, most of them are here. You can see me and Twitch now. We have different values from these young people, because we grown up in a different place, and they grown up here. And sometimes, when we talk to them, sometimes we clash somewhere, because we're trying to enforce our culture into them, then also they have a different way of learning. And that's why we always encourage families, to take Australian way, to educate children. So because they are Australian, we cannot bring the Sudanese way of, like forcing into them. That actually make clash and they will end up on the street. So parents, please try to understand Australian way of life. As long as we understand it, we will be able to support our young people. And also, on the other side, our mainstream community, please just support us. Instead of looking at us like bad people, we are good. We are good here inside. You can see good in Turkey, you can see it in me, you can see it in Madi, you can see it in everyone. I think we're all learning one another. And this country is good because we are a multicultural community. And I think that is a great way of moving forward. I acknowledge people who are still away, like Jason Wood, Jordan, and also Carol. I don't know if Carol is here, our CEO. So I'm really grateful with Cardinia Shire Council. The way they are start working with South Sudanese, I'm really, really touched, and I'm really happy for them. There is a lot of good people out there. I know them, but I will not name them. They are really good. And I'm also thankful to Mariam, who actually started to settle South Sudanese in living learning, to start, supporting young people. Somebody like me, somebody like Charles, somebody like Jikain, somebody like Tuch as well. So we have done a lot with Mariam, and I know also we've done a lot with Glenda, and also Janet, and also all people in council. Let's move forward. Let's start working together. I think we will make Pakenham and Shire a better place for our family and the generation to come. Thank you for listening. I will stop here. Thank you.
Welcoming speech to the guests. So, Victoria, you're welcome.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak about the work that has been done by the many people in the Pakenham and Cardinia Shire to further the support to our South Sudanese community. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owner of the land we are standing on, and I would also like to acknowledge all the officials who are here today. We appreciate the kindness and support that we are receiving. It's most welcome. My name is Victoria Maywen, and I am part of the executive cluster group that has been formed with assistance from the Shire Council. I thank Tunj Ajak for his hard working, his commitment, and his passion for the community engagement. The cluster group has several aims for the community. The first aim of the group is positive messaging. Members of the cluster group are keen to work with the local police, service provider, health professional, business, and the council to ensure that positive messages about our community are put on website, social media, and community newsletter. We have many positive messages. Next, one example of our positive contribution has been our involvement in the Hamper Drive program run by ADRA, Afri-Aus, and Salvo in December. We continue to engage in such events when we see a need. The second aim of the cluster is the holiday bus initiative. The cluster group, with the assistance of AJAC, has developed a holiday bus initiative. This initiative is a pilot project between the community and the police and other service providers. Engage with young people who might be congregating and causing some concern. The bus will contain sporting equipment, food, and other entertainment, and will be staffed by the police, community leader, and other people from service provider as identified. And on initiatives to engage, interact, and mentor young people. The third aim of the cluster group is training. The cluster group is keen to provide citizenship and leadership training to interested people. We have made contact with many community agencies who are working hard to make this initiative happen. The fourth aim of the cluster group is Homework Club. The cluster group is making effort to promote and help establish the Homework Club. The cluster group are keen to include the police as part of this homework initiative, as it will provide an opportunity to help build trust and mentor in a safe, non-threatening space. We are encouraged by commitment of the Beacons Hills Primary School, who have teacher and material ready to start in February. Please encourage community members to sign up. And finally, the aim of the cluster group was to develop this community day. Here we all are celebrating our diversity in this fantastic place. I'm sure you will all enjoy cultural performance, consultation, and engagement with us. In conclusion, please make sure you talk to the organizer and Aja. We are keen to make sure you are engaged and provide with every opportunity to participate in the community of Cardinia. I would like to thank each and every one of you for all the amazing work you are doing within this community. Thank you.
I'm the CEO of Living and Learning in Pakenham over on Henry Street. First of all, I'd like to pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the land that we're on today and share, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and those into the future. Also, I'd like to pay my respects to any other elder from any other culture that is sitting with us today. Living and Learning has been around for about 30 years. I've been around for about 4 years. We believe in the power of the community to support the individual, and the power of the individual to support the community, and try and give those opportunities to new and emerging cultures that are hitting Cardinia. Our mission is to be a gathering place of education, art, recreation and community building activities in Pakenham and the greater Cardinia Shire. I am a firm believer that if I have a space that is spare, why do I not fill that up? However, I trade big time. So that we're a community centre, and the things that we can't afford, I'll give you space if you give me a cultural dance at our Harmony Day or Pakenham Show Day. And that has worked really well with the South Sudanese community, not only the South Sudanese community but also other cultural groups that meet within our centre. I understand the bad rap that the South Community Group is getting through the media, but there is a core group of people who are trying to change attitudes of people within Cardinia and basically I think the whole of Australia. I am a firm believer of do not lose your culture. What runs through your body, your blood that runs through your body doesn't change. I'm a very proud Māori woman from New Zealand, and I will do both things. I will make sure my children and my grandchildren know my culture. They respect it when they come to my house. They also learn our language. While I'm here in Australia, I have Australian children and an Australian husband. But you have to live the Australian way of life. There are no two ways about it. Australian way of life is you're here, you're sharing this country, but don't forget your culture. It's important to a lot of people. I find within my community that there is this discord with some of our youth. They don't know who they are, they don't know whether they're Australian, they don't know whether they're Sudanese or Māori or Italian. It doesn't matter. But you've got to give them something to hang on to. That's my firm belief. And I urge you all, don't lose it. Don't let your kids lose it, don't let your grandchildren lose it. I'm lucky, my country's 3 hours away. I can take my children there, you're not quite so lucky with that. Over the last couple of years I've been working quite hard, particularly with Jibba and Jakani, and we've done a couple of projects. One of those was our muster camp, which was the same funding that's funding today. There was about 120 South Sudanese people who went to Summers Camp. There was representative from the police, from legal aid, and other members of the services that were available, so that you can learn what they are. It's a hard gig coming to Australia to learn and work out how all of that works. I get it. At least I spoke English when I came here. It's a harder gig for you people as you've come to Australia. So there's one thing that we've done, that from all the feedback that I've got, that went really well, and I'd like to do another one next year, so we're working on that. I've worked with Jebba, and we've done some cultural specific training for disengaged youth. We're still working on that. So we haven't been able to run that program, but it's ready to go when your youth are ready to come and visit us and go down that track. We've also got a Pathways to Career program that I'm running with Chisholm Jobs and Skills Centre, and that's about people who have studied, you've got your degree, but still that racism is there and you're not able to get jobs. I know lots of South Sudanese people who have lots of degrees and qualifications but can't get work. So we've built up a mentor system with some of the bigger companies within Melbourne to, so that they can be networked, a youth mentored with somebody from a business, and then it's about building their network to be able to get work. We're also working on our homework club for Sudanese children after school. Hopefully we'll have that up off the ground in a few weeks' time. We still do our English for additional language classes, which we have lots of different cultures come to that program. One of our highlights last year was our Women in Harmony leadership program for cold women, which was about giving them a voice and teaching them a platform to be able to do that. And we taught them social media skills, that everything can be done with your phone. So we've taught them how to stand up, be proud to be a woman, and then be able to voice your concerns within the social media platform, and how to do that safely at the same time. I've got a small video, hopefully, oops. So some of these photos behind me, if I can get this to work, from our English classes, but also from the camp. And that photo there is Helen Ross. She's in the building today. I keep calling her, that's the Oreo photo. For those people that know what an Oreo is, will probably get it. Another program that we're doing with Called Women is our Small Business Skills program, where Small Business Victoria comes out and teaches you small business skills, and we're using sewing as the platform to do that. I'm also trialling being able to allow children in the classroom. So we will look after them while your mums are doing their programs, but if their children are distressed, they can come into the classroom. The Western culture is about the only one who excludes children from everyday living. I'm a firm believer that children learn by stealth and what they've got, what is around them at the same time. So our values at Living and Learning is trust. So mutual trust is the hallmark of all our work. All our stakeholders will show respect at all levels. Our passion is our commitment and enthusiasm is exemplified in all of our operations. We have compassion, which is empathy and care, will underpin all of our work. And also diversity, which is provision of a safe and welcoming environment to all. And I invite all of you to come and visit us down at Living and Learning. I have an open door office, so that I will talk to anybody if they come in, and I'm always available to chat. Also, we're about designing programs that work. So if you've got an idea for a program that has an educational focus to it, come and talk to me. I have funding for that, for those programs, but if I don't know what you want, I don't know what to organise and program-wise. So please come and talk to me if you've got any ideas on any programs that you think will help your community. So that's about it for me. Am I ranting? Thank you for listening to me today. But I want to show you this small clip. It's about 3 minutes, which was our Women in Harmony project. Please.
Harmony program has been absolutely fabulous because it's allowed women to come together, to share their ideas, to share their issues and their challenges. Women in Harmony gives women a choice to be able to have a very hard for us to leave your country and come to the other country and start your life from zero. I came to Australia and then I had my child. Then I didn't know anyone, so I was sort of puzzled. I feel like I'm becoming mother and I don't know what to do. Before that, as I was at home, I think, how can I do anything? How can I do my way? I love that there was so much that living in life had to give. So that's how I embraced it. So, then for me, it's about making things very small voices bigger. When you put skills and tools in people's hands, that blows me away, that totally blow me away about what they have to say. And a lot of them have never had the opportunity to be heard.
Great. So, why do you think one should join this course? Why a woman should join this course?
Why not? I think the program succeeds all our expectations. So I feel very passionate about empowering other women with skills in order to kind of get out there and do what they want to do.
The biggest challenge after being a mother is your own kid. Doing this course, I can bring her in, and apart from that, I can learn English. I thought that I would never be able to go back to work, and when I joined this course, I gained a lot more confidence.
Now I'm very confident because as a woman, you have so many powers to choose your way.
It's a magical place where people come, they feel not threatened, they feel safe and they feel welcomed.
For the first time when I entered in the club, everyone said quiet, no one know each other. Now we are really close to each other.
I realized how special they are. It has really made me love them.
And the friendships that I formed in that group, the support, has been just an amazing kind of byproduct, really, that all of us are blown away by.
It's been an outstanding success beyond what we imagined.
Our fifth person is our local commander, Mr. Ivan. And the sixth person is the CEO of Living and Learning Centre, Miriam. I would give the mic to our elder to explain the importance of the gift as the women at the back are preparing to come forward and deliver the gift. So Mr. Thick, you can explain more about the gift and then we'll give you the mic.
The gifts are sheets and pegs. Pegs that you use to tie a towel down. South Sudanese agrarian as well as pastoral communities. Some people are agrarian, they can together with them. And some communities, they have cows, they have cattle. And some combine both. So if you are honoring, the traditional way of honoring someone is to give a cow. To give a cow. And then urbanization came. People moved to cities and towns, and that made it impossible to take your cows with you. So people drove cows on sheets, and they give them to leaders and people, the community would like to honor. So that's the background. So we are going to give sheets as well as eggs. And so if in your mind, don't think of it as a sheep, it's a cow. So today, if you go home with that gift, and your wife is not here, and your wife asks you at home, what has South Sudanese given you? Say, they have given me a cow. So where are the
Why not?
past, present and emerging, and in fact we respect all our elders in our community. Can I also acknowledge the Assistant Minister Jason Wood, Mayor Jeff Springfield, councillors, CEO, Vic Cole, community organisations, and importantly everyone that has come here today. So thank you so much for welcoming me to your community. This gift, I was reduced to that. My family are from Italy. They come from an agrarian and livestock background going back generations and generations. My father, as an example, when he finished school at grade 2 because he had to go and work the fields. So this gift means so much to me. It is an absolute, I remember my own ancestral background, and I just want to thank you so much for putting in the effort and acknowledging this beautiful gift for all of us. The theme today is diversity, culture and resilience, and it's important to all of us, and it's a great one to focus on as well. And I think that's a real common value that we all share, is that we all want the best for our children and we all want a better future and a place to live. And for them, education and hard work was the path to economic and social improvement. And it was really interesting growing up in a new, being of migrant parents. My first language wasn't English. We started school at 5. And there were Italians from all over the nation that had come to Australia in various waves of migration. But in this little town in Albany, we were from all over Italy. And it was, we spoke different dialects. The northerners didn't like the southerners, even within the regions, there's provinces, there's villages, villages wouldn't talk to each other, there were different languages within villages. Different cultural practices and history. But what united us all is that we were all new, and we looked at the shared commonalities of the Italian culture as a whole. And with Italians, we love our food, we love music, we love dance, language. So this became this sort of unifying element of celebration for all the different, Italian groups within Italy. And, we were bullied at school, we were labelled, we smelled different, we brought different food. I used to have these lunch boxes with salami and olives and wrapped in, tea towels. Like our lunches were really different, and we really wanted Vegemite sandwiches, but we had this whole sort of antipasto mix as our recess sort of play lunch. But what we did was we focused, as I said, on what was great, and we sort of work together as a community. And we also had, as the leader was saying earlier, we had a common faith, spirituality within all the Italian, different cultures within Italy. So our starting point was celebration, and I see this, we have so many different waves of migration, and it really saddens me that some are judged more than others, but it's just this common theme which I think we really are hoping to sort of break, because everyone coming to this country, everyone born in this country, has a story to tell, has a proudness to be, and we want all the opportunities afforded to everyone. So challenges, there are challenges, in education, in housing affordability, in employment, in gender equity, the challenge of change, of changing countries, changing languages, changing priorities, changing systems. But successful change does need patience, determination and resilience. And resilience can be learnt, and it can come from inspirational leaders, many of you here today, and also from just standing up and participating in our community. And we saw this recently. There was the article in the Pakenham Gazette, which I was just so appalled at the comments that were coming out of that article. I've never ever seen anything like it, and I was just deeply saddened and felt so sorry for a community that really want to call this place home, that we're being attacked so ferociously by people within the community. And I did put a Facebook post up, and I know many of the article ones may have been shared, but if you do get a chance, the comments on my Facebook post are just so beautiful and welcoming. And I've had quite a few organisations contact me saying, oh, we're an angling club, on the coast. We'd really like to invite the South Sudanese community and have a day of fishing. So from, some horrible things that can happen in community, it is a small minority, and please know that there are many, many people that are very supportive of, you as a community and as a people. So I'd like to sort of even finish up by saying that, you have so much to offer. You've experienced things, whether it's you personally or in your family background, that no one should ever experience in their lifetime. And I thank you because you sort of find it in your hearts to show compassion to those, even the ones that sort of try and trip you over at every turn. Be proud, you enrich us all as a community, and we are all the better as a society for your contribution here in Cardinia and Australia.
Thank you so much. I would like
In saying that, as I do continue, if I say community, I'm referring to the many communities and cultures present here today. I am fortunate in my role that I do get to speak to so many in the community, and I hear the challenges, and it saddens me when I do hear some of the stories that have already been touched on, and really the stories of many within the South Sudanese community being racially targeted. I see the comments on social media. A quick glance at comments reveals some of the hatred and anger, but they also show a lot of positive support from the community. Unfortunately, some in the community feel the need to target communities and stereotype groups. I've no doubt that many of you sitting in this room have experienced being stereotyped. We've all seen the stories in the media of African gangs terrorising the streets. Now, we all know that youth offending is a much larger and broader issue, comprising people of all races. It is commentary like that that leads to racism, victimisation and abuse, and we need to stop it. We have to work together to change that narrative. Some of the comments in the media target minority groups and create fear. And fear can often lead to measures that call for a focus on enforcement and zero tolerance. Although enforcement activities can in some cases be beneficial and necessary, we must be cautious to ensure that individuals are targeted and not large groups. We know that the enforcement approach can lead to a disconnect between police and young people. So this needs to be balanced with a more proactive approach. I think our organisation has done a lot, particularly in the last decade, to change that narrative. We need to prevent people from committing crime and divert them from engaging in antisocial activities. Victoria Police can't address these issues on our own, and that is why we need to work with the communities and other organisations to identify solutions. Stereotyping isn't just specific to race though. Me standing here representing Victoria Police in my blue uniform is not immune to stereotyping. Many of my colleagues standing here in blue as well have been subjected to being called a racist, a thug, and many other words that I can't say today. My message to everyone in this room is to look past race, look past the uniform, and look at the human. We are all human and we all need to work together. It is often only a small minority, whether it be in a community or an organisation, that engage in antisocial or improper behaviour. Obviously that doesn't help in reducing the stereotype or the stigma. What we do need to do is challenge these behaviours, and the post that I heard of before is one way of doing that, and we all need to continue doing those sort of things. I will do my part as a leader with my new stick to make sure that within my organisation I'll influence a positive culture, and I encourage you all to do the same. By working together we can promote positive behaviour and change that narrative.
Cardinia Shire Council acknowledges that we are on the traditional land of the Bunurong and the Wurundjeri people, and pay our respects to the elders past and present. I would also like to acknowledge that we had the Honourable Jason Wood with us, who is now left. Jordan, Granali. We have many of our councillors have joined us today, and Councillor Ray Brown just stuck in, so thank you. Our CEO, Carol, as well as many of the staff. And most importantly, many of our community leaders are here today with us, and you play one of the most important roles in this whole picture that we've talked about. I've sat here and reflected upon the words of many of our leaders we've had from the police and from state and federal government, and we have all these authorities in place, but without the community leaders on the ground connected to their neighbours and their family and their children to pass this message forward of unity, then we have nothing. So it is really up to all of us involved to carry that load. So I'd like to thank you all for your involvement there in that space. We've heard a lot about some issues that have been mentioned and such. There's other things that I was going to talk about, but I just want to quickly reflect that throughout history we've had problems with disconnected youth regardless of their cultural background, and this is a problem that still continues with us today. So identifying how we connect with that youth within our community to put them on the right path, to not be making mistakes that many of our youth do, that I did myself 25 years ago, is the important factor regardless of where their cultural background might come from. It is helping our youth grow into the adults of the future that's going to help us have the society that we all dream of for tomorrow. So that's what we need to focus on, I believe. It's a great pleasure to be here today for this wonderful event and to celebrate the South Sudanese community, which is one of many cultural groups that make up our multicultural society here in Cardinia Shire and across Australia. We are a wonderful nation that's built on many different flavours of cultural background, and it's focused on those together that is our greatest strength moving forward. So to focus on the things that unite us together rather than focusing on the things that divide us is how we can really move forward into, again, the future we dream of for tomorrow. I'll stop talking about the future because we're here in the present today. I want to thank everyone that put this together. It's such a great effort from the community groups to be able to bring a day to celebrate the South Sudanese community within our Shire. It is a wonderful thing to see. And we want our Shire to be a livable community where residents feel included and connected, where everyone belongs, where our differences and contributions are valued and celebrated, and where our Shire is a place that people are proud to call home. And that's what this is a part of today, is helping to build that, a Shire in which we're all proud to call home. It's all about bringing people together, this event. And this Community Day is just one of the initiatives of our South Sudanese Liaison Project, a partnership between the South Sudanese Community Council, Victoria Police and a number of other key stakeholders who have come together from the Cardinia South Sudanese Cluster Group. I would also like to thank the Australian Government for its support through MUSTER, which is Mutual Understanding, Support, Tolerance, Engagement and Respect. And that was a grant that Council received from the Federal Government to employ our South Sudanese Liaison Officer, which is Tutu's been doing a wonderful job all day of emceeing this. Round of applause to thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the following groups for their support of today's event. Cardinia South Sudanese Cluster Group, Living Learning Pakenham, Adventist Development and Relief Agency, Afri-Aus, Nonex, right now incorporated, and the Tribes Basketball Club. So if we could just give them all a round of applause. They all contributed to put this day together.
The reason is that what each one of us, South Sudanese, identifies himself or herself more strongly is a tribe rather than a national identity. Rather than South Sudanese or South Sudanese Australians. We are tribes. Like you have seen the dance, it's a tribal dance. The purpose of the vision is to accelerate the efforts of constructing our new identity rather than, it's more important than tribal identity. In order for us to do this, we need to reconnect with our past. It is very important to reconnect with our past and to know where we are now, what we can become, and what we can achieve by implementing this vision. And this vision is constructing our new identity.
Break will for us to interact among ourselves, get to introduce ourselves to each other, and then when we come back, we will have a dance performance from Connect right now. They were supposed to perform before, but they were not yet here. So they are ready now at the back. So we're going to go for a short... Thank you, thank you.
One more.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That is from Tweed Bayani is a subsection of the Dinka tribe. Before we talk about South Sudan being a diverse community having 64 tribes. So that was one of the subsections of the Dinka tribe from Tweed Bayani. At the moment now, I will welcome Honorable Jason Wood, the Assistant Minister, to come and give the speech. And I will also like to commend the great work that is doing. The project that we are in today is a master project which was funded by the federal government through his effort. So we are so delightful that he's here with us today to come and see and interact with us and celebrate this beautiful day with us. The African communities we have all seen, some of them are still on the way. If we had to wait for another 1 hour, this room would be full. And they are all trying their best to teach and train the children as you have seen. And most of these children that were dancing here, they are all Australian. They were born here. And it's quite hard for an African culture to teach an Australian born African. It's quite hard. And they're doing an amazing job. So we really commend them. And I'll give the mic now to Honorable Jason.
First of all, can I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, the elders, past and present and emerging, especially from the Wurundjeri Bunurong people. And can I thank Cardinia Shire Council for their invitation here today, and acknowledge CEO Harold Jeffs, Jeff Springfield, who have a number of councils here today. I saw Colin Rossi, the Mayor of Springfield, thanks very much for your doing Graham. I did actually see Graham over here before. The big thank you to the State Member, Jordan Finale, and everything you're doing to help and support the South Sudanese community. Can I just say thank you very much, first of all, to the great gift of a cow and also the peg. I thank you very much. And that's the fact the Sri Lankan community at Berwick, the Buddhist temple, they actually gave me a stone elephant. And they wanted me to take the stone elephant home. It weighed like a tonne. And they wanted me to organise a crane to take it home. I said, it's so, as you can imagine, it's still actually at the temple today. But I very much thank you for this kind gift. And also for the ladies who have been teaching the dancing, and for those amazing young performers at the back who are just having a great time. And this day is about. It's great to see the Sudanese youngsters out there before playing in the rain, especially after such a hot day. I've been working closely with a number of South Sudanese leaders, and lots of Reverend Tuddies here today. I know one of the issues you're trying to come together with is a community place. We're talking about one potentially in Dandenong, and also I'm working with Pakenham Council on a cultural centre, but that'll be a multicultural centre open for all the people. The South Sudanese community in Australia, while relatively small and new community, is a valuable contributor to our society, especially in sport and, as we've seen today, in culture. And I would also like to acknowledge Monica Munjul from the Australian African Sports Association, who's an application at the moment for federal funding. One of my big goals is to get, in particular, South Sudanese kids heavily involved in sport and high-level sport. At the the time of the 2016 census, there were an estimated 10,000 people of South Sudan ancestry were living in Victoria. And as Assistant Minister, I've had the opportunity to attend many events and occasions that celebrate the rich diversity within the Australian community. In actual fact, yesterday I was in the Gold Coast in Queensland, and I was telling the people up there when they were complaining about how hot it was only 33 degrees, yet it was 42 degrees, but I was amazed of the strength of their multicultural community in the Gold Coast. In actual fact, there's more people born overseas in the Gold Coast than actually born in Australia. The South Sudanese Community Day provides a great opportunity for local community to come together, build understanding and promote unity and acceptance. I'm proud of the fact that in this country we respect and embrace the rights of all Australians to practice, celebrate and maintain their diverse culture and religious traditions. People have come from all corners of the globe to make a new life and to contribute to our society and to see it prosper. And as I was saying before, it's not only the Gold Coast movement, but pretty much 50% of people in Australia either were born overseas or one of their parents were. So Australia is truly a multicultural community. In actual fact, my wife was born in Hong Kong. We are one of the most successful multicultural societies in the world. We are successful because we embrace our culture and religious diversity. Australians are not divided by our differences, but united by the common values, freedom, and the rule of law, democracy. Can I say I acknowledge all our good friends with Victoria Police here today. And obviously, my very big friend is here today. St Francis Xavier, thank you for everything you're doing for the South Sudanese community. We believe that all people are equal regardless of cultural background, gender, race or religious beliefs. We believe in respect, mateship and a fair go for all. It has been pleasing to see the generous contribution of the local South Sudanese community to helping those in need, including through the recent Christmas hamper drive and the ongoing Meals program and youth outreach. Can I say, give yourselves a huge clap for supporting the other I'm also very pleased that in the past few years the Australian government, this is a Liberal Morrison government, has been able to support the South Sudanese in Victoria through a number of grants and funding arrangements, including more than $400,000 from the Home Affairs portfolio, where I am the Assistant Minister, including a number of programs I've personally secured funding after working with, I think, Cardinia Council and other councils in the nearby area, and in particular the Sudanese leaders. These include fostering integration grants of nearly $50,000 for School Vets Limited. The Dinka Ethnic School of Victoria was also provided with more than $50,000 in funding under Home Affairs Safer Community Fund program to provide greater security around school venues. In addition, the Australian government has provided significant funding under its Mutual Understanding, Support, Tolerance, Engagement and Respect program to assist the South Sudanese community. This includes providing $87,000 last year to the Living Learning Centre in Pakenham, and Miriam, I saw her before doing a fantastic job down there. It was a 3-day camp. We had nearly 200 parents and children there from the South Sudanese community. You can also acknowledge Zakani as the coordinator there. He did an amazing job, and I'm hearing there's a number of people want to come to that camp next year. Also, $1.2 million for the Les Cleman Foundation, including support at schools such as in Berwick and Pakenham Secondary College and other schools. And can I say, the reason this funding was provided was simply because of an inquiry I led, where a Sudanese youth worker told me the importance of putting funding directly into schools. And we even named the inquiry after a statement he made, and he said, no one taught me how to be an Australian. So that's something we really need to work on together. $1 million for Hope Australia Soccer Academy. Again, this came out of the inquiry. And so if any youngsters are here interested in soccer, I've actually got 2 Brazilian FIFA-trained soccer coaches in this local area, helping in particular Sudanese children to to get involved in that great sport of soccer. The Brotherhood of St Lawrence Peninsula Youth Connections and New Hope Foundation were provided with $100,000 over the last 2 years. We also provided the Adventist Development and Relief Agency $131,000 working with Afri-Aus. And can I acknowledge the CEO who's here today, Selva Lucas. Selva, just stand up please. And it's doing fantastic work. Tough issues such as family violence and making sure and doing everything she can to get Sudanese young people into jobs, and also ranging patrols with elders at the Fountain Gate Shopping Centre. And I'm very keen to bring this program to our Pakenham shopping centres. In addition to the Cardinia Shire Council received $105,000 engaged the South Sudanese liaison officer. I'm going to say, Toots, you're doing a fantastic job. Give him a hand. Another program you may not be aware of, it's called Youth Activating Youth. We provided $900,000. The more being based in the western suburbs. I want to bring them out here too. Their key goal has been to help many young African people who may have been caught up in, as we heard, we don't talk about the word jail in South Sudan. But the issue is they are actually helping people out here leaving the incarceration and finding work. A range of other initiatives funded by the Australian government directly benefit the South Sudanese community by assisting with economic and social integration, participation, building leadership capabilities. And can I say that's so important for the South Sudanese community? One thing I've realised, South Sudan had its independence, or gained its independence in 2011, and it's a very young community, not only here in Australia, but in South Sudan. The average age in South Sudan is 18 or 19 years of age, so it's a very young population. When you compare over here, the average Australian here is 37 years of age. So we need, and that's what my goal is, I'm sure Jordan to the council, is to support the leadership in the South Sudanese community. The Prime Minister, Morris, the Liberal government at the federal level, very focused on supporting the South Sudanese community and seeking and making sure your community flourishes. I'm hoping to see more funding to highlight the culture and heritage of the South Sudanese community. I know there's applications presently from the Cardinia South Sudanese Association, and Andrew Knight, I know he was involved in that. Can I say, Andrew, you're doing a great job as Secretary for the group. Big for Andrew, and he's been doing a great job. Can I say, my next phase of work with Home Affairs, and I've instructed Home Affairs to look at this through the department, and it's about business to create jobs. Jobs brings hope, and hope will come to the South Sudanese community, especially for the young people, when they see people who have academic qualifications getting jobs, and that's my goal locally, to make sure we achieve that. I commend the Cardinia Council, and also thank Jordan, the State Government, the South Sudanese Cluster Group, for hosting this community day and sharing elements of the South Sudanese culture and heritage to the wider Australian community. And I extend my gratitude to the community organisations represented here today who are helping provide information and support to the local community. I thank you all for continuing to spread the messages of unity, peace, inclusion and harmony within this great state of Detroit, the greatest country on earth being Australia. Have a great day. Thanks very much for having me here.
Thank you so much, Honourable Jesse Wood, for those amazing words and encouraging. And the South Sudanese community are here and part of the Australian culture, and they're doing their best to help grasp the opportunity that is prevailing.
Yeah. Gracias.